Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this episode of Wrestle Talk with Bear and BDuB, on another edition of BDuB Starts. Now, I'm here with the King of Dundalk, Derek Frazier.
The King, you know this.
Derek, I appreciate you sitting down and taking this time.
Oh, anytime, bro. Anytime. Like I told you last time, whenever you need an interview, I'm here to do it for you, bro.
Well, Derek, I'm having a problem. The people keep saying wrestling is fake. And I've been a fan of professional wrestling all my life. 24 years old. I get tired of it. You know,
right there with you, bro. I'm right there with you.
Kids was little. I remember when I was little, it was Santa Claus. Is Santa Claus real? And I was like, of course he's real. You know. And now is wrestling real? It's not real, it's fake. Why do you still watch that? This, that, and other. So I'm here with a professional wrestler that can reveal the information.
Alright, here we go. Let's put it this way. You brought up Santa Claus. Why do parents still tell their kids Santa Claus is real? Why do they believe in the Tooth Fairy? Mm-hmm. Why do you believe in the Easter Bunny? You know, speaking of it, Easter's right around the corner. Give it a week or two. Wish y'all out there happy Easter. But anyway, you know, professional wrestling, you could say is fake. You can't say it's fake. You know, there's all kinds of terminology out there. Mm-hmm. You know, when I was growing up, just like you, I was wrestling fan, you know, Jake the Snake,
oh yeah,
Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, Ricky the Dragon, Steamboat. You know, since I was yay big, you know, I love wrestling. I was always scared, like when I got older, could I be a wrestler? You know, do I have the size? This is gonna hurt. You know, you got people saying wrestling's fake. You know, back in the 1940s, 60s, maybe 30s, when professional wrestling started, you know, these guys went out there and beat the crap out of each other. Mm-hmm. There was nobody telling who won, who lost. They went out there and beat the crap. Whoever had their hand raised, they were the winner.
Okay.
You know, now you come into wrestling, now people are saying fake. It's, you know, they determine who's going to win and who's going to lose. Guess what? They're right.
Okay.
I'll give them that. They're right. But you know something, for us guys out there as professional wrestlers to be athletes, you know, as myself, in the last 3 years, almost 4 years, I've been suffering knee injury.
Okay.
If wrestling's fake, I wouldn't have had 3 surgeries on my knee.
Okay.
I wouldn't have blew my knee out. You know, these guys with broken necks, broken arms, broken noses. You know, if wrestling's so much fake, these guys wouldn't have these injuries. It's just like football, baseball, anything can happen. You know, terminology, you going out there, yeah, they tell you who wins, they tell you who loses, but us going out there being athletes, getting hit with chairs, going through tables, ladders, hitting that mat, hitting that floor, you know, the ring's not soft. Right. The ring's plywood, matting this thick, and canvas like that thick.
Wow.
That's it. So you got to learn how to fall. Pretty much you're a stuntman.
Yeah.
You know, just like these people in the movies. They don't fall right, guess what? They're in the hospital. And that's the same thing for us.
Yeah. Okay, wow. So, you know, it is. Let me ask you this. You mentioned the term predetermined. Has there ever been a time where you knew going into the match you weren't going to win? Did that affect your performance?
Nah.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if I win, lose, draw, or whatever, disqualification. I go out there every time and give 110%. Not just for myself, for the fans, and for the other wrestler, because if I go out there and pull back what I can do, I'm not a professional.
Right. So, being that you said that, have you ever been on the other end where you were going to win the match and you had your opponent, or you felt like your opponent was pulling back?
Somewhat and some not. You know, you really can't tell, you know. It's hard. It depends what happens. You know, if you have somebody that blows a move that, you know, you've wrestled this guy a couple times and knows he can do it every time, yeah, then you can. But a lot of times what'll happen is called payback, is where they'll stiff you.
Okay.
So they'll hit you hard. They'll give you a black eye, bust your lip, you know. That's and I've had that a couple times, but what you do, you give it back to them. It's called a receipt. You just hit them back harder, then you let them know that you know what's up, and the match goes on. Wow.
So all that goes on inside the ring.
Right.
A lot of times.
Yeah, it happens, and you know, you got guys out there with attitudes that don't want to win, or don't want to lose because their egos and their head's so big. But then you got guys out there that are in TNA, you know, WWE's guys that I've wrestled. You know, it doesn't matter. You know, I've won over several guys. You know, like Jerry Lynn, Alex Shelley, Petey Williams. You know, guys that I've beat. And they were cool about every single thing.
Wow. Who's your favorite that you can think of right now that's in TNA or WWE, who's your favorite opponent? Who's maybe your least favorite opponent?
Favorite guy that I wrestled would probably be Chris Sabin in TNA. We had a good match. I lost the strap to him, but we had a 5-star match, and the crowd, gave us a standing ovation at the end. It was probably one of my favorites.
Okay. Any least favorites out there that you can call? Don't mind revealing.
Not really. No, they're like every person that I've ever wrestled, I've never had a problem with, honestly.
Okay, well, it probably because it helps with you being a humble guy. I was looking at your resume. It speaks for itself. CZW, World Junior Heavyweight Champion, Tag Team Champion, MCW Cruiserweight Champion, the Shamrock Cup. I remember that personally. I was there that night when you came through. It was a surprise, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Nobody knew you was going to be there, and for you to win the cup. The MEWF Cruiserweight Champion, Tag Team Champion. Knowing you were going to win those matches and get the belt at the end of the night, how hard was it for you to keep from giving away the results?
Honestly, it's not hard because just like you said, wrestling. People saying it's fake. I don't want my friends or family that's coming to the show knowing what I'm going to do.
Okay.
If I'm going to win, if I'm going to lose, because then they know what I'm going to do. Why should they come and watch me?
Yeah.
I want them to be surprised. So if I win, they're happy. If I lose, they're still happy. They still came and supported me and watched me.
All right, so you were saying about that. You was talking about you're not telling your fans and your family that you're going to win.
Right.
WrestleMania 10, Lex Luger and Bret Hart were co-Royal Rumble winners. Lex had the first title match,
right.
You remember, and they said there's rumors on the internet saying that he was supposed to win the title, but he got drunk with his friends and told his friends, I'm going to win the title tomorrow night. Have you ever seen that happen with any of your colleagues or anyone?
Right, I've seen it with several guys, like I was saying earlier in the show. People with big heads being cocky, their egos you can't fit through the door. These are people like me and you sitting back at the bar like a week before the show saying I talked to the booker and he's like, yeah, you're going to win the strap. We start drinking and be like, yeah, I'm going to win that title. You just be a smartass. Then it goes from me to you. Then maybe you post it on the internet or me post it on the internet. And then it blows up. So when I show up to the show, the booker's mad because now you just blew the whole ending of the match. Mm-hmm. So guess what? It gets changed around.
Yeah. Now, how have you seen wrestling evolve from the internet era, especially because you've been wrestling for 10 years? Have you noticed such a tremendous difference from before when everybody would know the results and now is in the independent circuit? Have you noticed too many internet giveaways or anything like that?
It's not like WWE and TNA, the internet giveaways on WWE and TNA, you know what's going to happen. They post. You have people out there. You got marks out there that post it. You got people that are actually working for these companies that post it and blow it. Just like you got SmackDown that's taped.
Yeah.
You go watch it on Tuesday night. You got these people watching it. Go put it on the internet. So then when you go watch the show, it's ruined. I think that's what killed some of the business this day with professional wrestling. The indies now you don't have it because nobody knows. It's indies is once a month. It ain't every week or every other night. People are coming. And for people in the indies, you're gonna buy a DVD.
Mm-hmm.
Some indie show, like CZW had a TV show and all that.
Okay.
And that was pre-taped, and people knew that, and you would watch it a month down the line that you were at that show.
Yeah.
So there ain't really no spoilers that you can do in the indies.
That's pretty good. Do you remember when you first found out that wrestling was predetermined? Do you remember how? Did that change anything for you?
It was before I started wrestling, of course.
Okay.
Like I said, I was little, just like you. I believe wrestling was real.
Right.
And then when it came out saying stuff was predetermined, I still didn't want to believe it. Because I loved wrestling that much. And then once I started getting into the business and all, I'm not gonna say I don't look at wrestling the same. I'm still a fan 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But it has nothing to do with me not watching WWE. Is because WWE took the fun away because they bought everything up. It's not like I remember the times then I would have people where we watch Nitro, watch Thunder, we would watch SmackDown, you watch Raw. You had every night, then every Sunday you had a pay-per-view, you know, and that was when I first got into business back in 2000.
Okay.
You know, I was still a wrestling fan, even though I wrestled and I loved it. But, like, now it's just like, you know, I'll skim through the internet like anybody else and see what happens, you know.
Do you find yourself sometimes having to kind of like, all right, so for instance, WrestleMania was 2 weeks ago.
Right.
What I did, you know, I have a talk show, and a lot of times people want to debate on the politics, what should have happened, this should happen. So I had promised myself, I'm going to watch WrestleMania as a fan.
Right, right.
Do you ever find yourself having to do that? Like, you have to kind of like force yourself not to think about, is this guy making a wrong move, or should they should give this guy the belt? Just watch it, kind of like you did when you were younger.
I try because it's the same thing, you know. Sitting there watching it, just like you said, you know, I'll be like, well, you know, you got the face, you got the heel, you know, and if you follow the storylines, you know, if the heel's always on top, the face is supposed to come out at the end. Yeah. You know, if they put the heel over, that kills the whole storyline. As you know, the face chasing after, and the heel's always putting them down, and if, like said, the face don't go over, that kills the whole storyline and what the fans were waiting for, you know. Yeah. And it happens sometimes, you know, where I'll be watching and be like, oh, he should have did this, you know, or this would have been better, or his punches are horrible, or he should have reversed, you know, sit there watching it, you know, and it's just something from being in the business doing that, you know. But then, you know, when you got the big shows, sometimes I watch, you know, I try to be as a fan. It's hard, though. Yeah.
Can you remember the first time you took a chair shot? Because I know the ones that out there, and I know it's going to be people in my class sitting up there probably still not believing this when they watch this. I want you to let them know how you felt when you first took a chair shot.
Everything went black.
Oh, wow.
Everything went black. You like all your senses besides your vision. Like, it was like you got, like, pretty much I got concussion from it. Okay. You know, it's not, the chairs don't have no giveaway. The only thing that's giving away, it's bending off the top of your head. Yeah. You know, everything went black, and like my hearing went real big, and like for 5 seconds I couldn't see nothing. Then I came to, and the next chair shot cracked me again. You know, it's, you know, you getting hit over the head, somebody swinging it like a baseball bat. You know, it's not fun, but it's, you just gotta be prepared and ready. Just one thing is, don't have your mouth open, your tongue sticking out, or you're gonna bite your tongue off. Ooh.
Ooh. Now your finishing move, you know, the impact driver. When you first started doing, like, well, first of all, what made you choose that to be your finisher?
I wanted to create something different that nobody else has seen, you know, to give the fans a wow factor. Be like, whoa, you know, I haven't seen that before. Then once it catches on, everybody knows. Once I call for it, they know it's then, and they know what move's coming.
Yeah, because now I'm gonna be straight up. The first time I seen the impact driver, I was like, okay, how in the world he's gonna pull that off? And then I've seen some of the behind the scenes, like how to take a power driver.
Right.
I've still watched that and still try to figure out how in the world does your opponent take that every time and manage to get up.
It's mainly all me. Okay. It's all me. Like when we hit the mat, I got, like, you know, I'm picking them completely up. They're not doing nothing. All they're jumping is, so all their weight's in my arms. So when we go down, I just got to make sure their head don't hit. So as soon as we hit, I got to throw them.
Have you ever thought, like, you seriously injured somebody while doing that move?
Nah. I'm saying I've thought, you know, I've worried, but when I first started doing it, you know, practicing in the ring, you know, I was scared that I would hurt somebody. But like, I've been doing it so long now, it don't even cross my mind anymore.
Now, you watch Tough Enough?
I've heard about it. Didn't it just start or something?
Yeah, last week was the first episode.
My buddy told me about it.
Now, have you ever, like, obviously it was on before, probably around the time when you started getting into business. Right. Did you ever think about going on that show?
Nah, honestly, I never have. I think it came around a little bit after I started. Okay. And I never even thought about it, honestly, you know, because as me, you know, I got a son going on 9, so I don't want to take, you know, obviously taking that chance of going away and say, yeah, they get pulled, you know, and got picked on there. You know, I've been missing a lot of things in my son's life, and that's same thing, you know, if I ever got picked up from WWE, you know, and TNA, but the difference is I'll be making money there, you know. Not to sound like I'm all about the money, but I could support my family and quit my regular job they go do that. You know, going on Tough Enough, it ain't guarantee you that I'm going to make it, you know.
Yeah. Well, certainly, you know. Like I say, any final thoughts you want to say to the fans?
You know, if you have a dream out there, you know, just like I have, you know, as being a little kid growing up watching wrestling or any kind of sport, pursue it. You know, don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it, and don't let anybody hold you back. You know, as long as you have the confidence, you got it right here in your heart, you can do it. Take it from me. You know, I've been doing this almost 11 years, you know, being a professional wrestler. You know, I played baseball, I played soccer, I played football, I've done all the sports, but this is the best sport I've ever been at, you know, and going out there and entertaining the fans, it's amazing, you know. It's like, that's my second family, you know. All over the places I've wrestled, there's always people that know me, and to this day, being out, you know, going to Walmart, going to the grocery store, going here, there's always somebody I see, so, you know, it feels good people knowing who you are, so always pursue your dreams.
And one final question, I just thought about this. If wrestling's fake, why do people like Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Vince McMahon, why did they take steroids? That alone should let people know that it's something, you know.
Guys out there that take steroids just to enhance their look. That's all. That's pretty much what they, you know, that's what they're doing. They get bigger, be more cut, you know. That's pretty much what steroids do, you know, enhance your look, and sometimes that's what you have to take to get somewhere, you know, and to get to the WWE, and that's what they look for.
I guess. I don't see myself.
Me personally, I never took it. You know, you can see me, I'm small. You know? That's why I'm called junior weight or cruiserweight.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you, Derek. We appreciate, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us on this episode of BDuB's Thoughts. This is the King of Dundalk. Check him out. I'm telling you.
Go to YouTube, Derek Frazier.
You see him, you watch any of his matches, it'll change your whole life.
And don't forget, Real Championship Wrestling. Go to realchampionshipwrestling.com. You can see myself and other wrestlers. We have a show April 23rd coming up down at Dewburn Soccer Arena. Please stop down. You'll have a great time.
Thank you, Derek.
No problem. Anytime.